That being said, are there plans for the committee to further grill him on all of these topics? And do you think that the House will take action, especially since it's on a bipartisan basis, that they want him to be held accountable? Is there going to be action on bringing him to justice?
Well, look, I think that number one, I think it's very possible that he comes for a public hearing under oath. That's the chairman's discretion. We'll have to see what happens. This committee is only expected to last through the end of the year. It's been set up as a task force, as a temporary committee to develop a report with recommendations on what was done, what could be done better, the origins, the pandemic preparedness, making sure we fix our pharmaceutical supply chains. We're not relying on communist China, making sure that no more federal funds make its way to dangerous experiments overseas and facilities that are doing subpar conditions like the Wuhan lab. We already took action there, and it's because of the work of this committee that money has been stopped from going to the Wuhan lab again, and also to EcoHealth. EcoHealth, which was the New York City entity that funneled that money to Wuhan lab, is no longer eligible for federal grants. So that in itself was a huge exposure that we did, and we were able to protect taxpayers, but also protect the public, because we could be preventing the next pandemic from being manufactured in a lab by that move. So I think that was a real significant thing. The pharmaceutical supply chain, I've just introduced legislation to try to bring more of our domestic production. 70 to 80% of our pharmaceuticals are being APIs, active pharmaceutical ingredients, are being produced in India and communist China. That cannot be. We need to bring that here for national security reasons, and to protect American citizens. And so that's another big issue that I think will come out of this committee. And yes, there should be some accountability measures. We obviously got to get the facts first, and they're having contrary statements made to this committee, whether it be by Dr. Fauci and his senior advisor, or Governor Cuomo and other individuals within his administration. We need to see if somebody committed perjury, is lying to Congress, but also if there was something nefarious that was done in a criminal manner. I mean, we're not there yet, but it could certainly happen down the line. And again, it's about following the facts to where they lead, and then making sure that this never happens again, that we prepare this country so we're in a better place, that we never allow, so many of the things that have happened. I mean, there's so many different areas that we've dived into, but making sure we protect Americans for the future is our number one priority.
How do you feel about the rumblings that he might run for mayor? And if the choice is between Cuomo or Mayor Adams, who would you pick?
I would pick a third candidate. I don't know. Well, look, it's possible. I could see the governor running for something again in the future. I don't know if it would be mayor or it'd be governor or U.S. Senate perhaps. But I think the way he was forced to leave, I think I could see somebody like him wanting to make a political comeback. And perhaps the information that we're exposing may prevent him from being able to do that, or maybe people will see him in a different light. But everybody knows what happened in New York, right? And there are some things that he did well, and there are other things that were terrible, arbitrary mandates that have come out that really hurt our students, students committed suicide because they didn't have social interaction with classmates. Businesses were destroyed, livelihoods were destroyed. So there's some good things that happen in New York and some very bad things that happen in New York. And on the top of that list is this mandate that ended up leading to thousands of our senior citizens, our most vulnerable, dying. And that, families want answers, families want accountability. They will not forget this. I certainly won't forget it. So making sure we get those answers for them, I think is so critical to everyone's future.
Well, thank you. And